it's hard to take positives out of something like that. You know, what we'll do is we'll go back, just like any other game, we'll evaluate the video of the night, and what I want to see is to make sure kids keep playing hard. It was on both sides of the ball, John. It's third down. You know what I mean? We couldn't get off the field on third down defensively, and in that first half we were 1-8 on third downs. You know, in between there we were moving the ball decently. We get in the red zone, and we didn't take advantage of our opportunities. So we've got to get better in those areas.
And I'm assuming defensively the problem on third down was you get into a third down and
We couldn't get the stop, yeah. The first half, we came in, looked at the numbers, I think we were 1 of 8, like I said, and they were 5 of 6. You know, and that really was the difference in that half. We had an opportunity, we were in the red zone 3 times. You know, we come up with points, better than even touchdowns there. You know, it's a 10, 11 point game, 1 at halftime. It's a completely different feeling.
Thank you. Went forward on fourth down, deep in Ohio State territory, rather than take the, like, would have been a 38-yard field goal.
Right. It's about a 38, 39-yard field goal. Right now, our range is that 33 to 37-yard point. So I talked to Coach Brock, and you know, we felt like we were just a little bit out of range.
Coach, the fact that they had so many new faces in the lineup make it difficult to prepare for this team?
No, not really. I mean, you know, they did what we thought they were going to do. They're just long, fast, and good football players. You know, there was nothing, you know, different about them schematically. No, they're a good football team.
The secondary seemed kind of overmatched.
Yeah, that's kind of an issue when you know, everybody's hollering stop the run, stop the run. When you stop the run, you put everybody in that box. You put some of these young corners man to man on some guys that can fly. And I think we all saw that you know, again, those corners gave effort. That those we have some pretty talented receivers outside that can really run, and it was a mismatch.
Is some of that also due to losing Watson for the game?
You know, we'll play with the guys that are out there. You know, John, you never. I mean, this football team will have the next man up mentality. Period. You know, so no disrespect, but you're never going to hear me respond to a question like that.
Were you aware that about 6 of your players were kneeling during the national anthem?
No, I wasn't.
With the kind of threat of Weber up the middle, seeing all the speed on the outside,
right.
How hard is that when you got to defend kind of both areas?
Well, it makes it tough, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, you know, we want to hang our hat on stopping the run, you know what I mean? And we tried to load the box up, and you know, and JT did a great job. Every time we put 7, 8 in the box, he shot the deuces and went to the big ball and long ball, and they were very successful with it today.
Like, I know you guys knew this would be a tough challenge, but just the level of with Ohio State putting up all sorts of school records today, is there a bit of a shock value you worry about, and kind of, is this a loss that may be hard to get over kind of going forward?
Well, you hope not. You hope not. I mean, all losses are hard to get over. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that we got this one out of the way. We made about every mistake that you possibly could, so it's only one way to go, and that's up.
Will you talk a little bit about the emotion defensively after getting that interception? I would think you guys had to be jacked after that.
Yeah, we were very high.
What happened after that, though?
We made him mad. That's what happened.
Was there a particular area in your Heisman that you guys struggled in?
That we struggled in?
Yes.
We just made mistakes. Made mistakes that could have been prevented. A lot of young guys. You know, they was fast on the outside. You know, so we was trying to stop the run. So you know, basically it.
Brandon, do you know JT personally?
No, I don't.
I know this is just fresh, but your emotion after this, I mean, was this, you know, it's not your typical loss, it's a huge margin. Your reaction after a loss like this?
We just got to go in, we got to watch film, you know, get better and prepare for the next week.
For the first game back as a starters, you know, in this atmosphere, if you will.
No, I didn't think it was that difficult. I thought we came in with a game plan, and I thought they made more plays than we did, and I think that's kind of what it came down to. And I don't think it had anything to do with it.
James, was there anything in particular that you saw that you didn't expect or didn't see that you expected? Or?
No, I thought they did exactly what we thought they were going to do, and I think there were plays out there to be made, and we didn't make them today, and they did. And that's what happens when you play a quality opponent like that and you don't make the plays that are necessary.
What's the level of frustration then, knowing that these are plays that need to be made if you guys want to be successful?
Yeah, obviously, any loss is difficult, but, you know, every one is a learning opportunity. And I think that's kind of the attitude we're going to take to it is, you know, these young guys kind of got a taste of what it's like. And we're going to go forward, and we're going to work to make that the only loss of the season.
Yeah.
They're a very talented football team, but so are we, you know what I mean? And again, you saw it, I mean, as they were rolling guys in, the level of their ability didn't change too much. And one of the things we talked to the team about and during our post game was that, hey, this is where we want to be, all right? And so what we've got to do is we got to continue to work, we got to continue to grind on a daily basis and in order to get to that point.
Is there a worry amongst the defense based on what they did today?
You know, yeah, there's always a worry, you know, when you give up 70 points. But again, we'll go back and we'll look at the video tonight and tomorrow morning and we'll address it.
Gene, if you were going to rate how you played today, how would you rate how you played?
I mean, anytime you lose like that, no one really played that well. So I think that's kind of the thing we have to work on, and I think we're just going to kind of move on from this. We're going to learn from it and get ready for North Dakota.
And you heard us ask, is there a kind of a lingering effect? It's not. This is not a typical loss. It's a huge margin. You're worried about this having a lingering effect?
No, I think the leadership on this team will help us move forward. I think that we have more goals to accomplish, and they're right in front of us. And I think that's kind of the biggest thing, is not losing sight of that and continue to work for it.
James, in 2014, you guys gave up 69 points in the opener of Western Kentucky. And then you lost your quarterback, you went in and you won 8 games. Do you remember the atmosphere after that game and what you guys had to do to get that?
Yeah, obviously it's similar to this one. You know, you come out and you think you have a game plan and you just don't execute it the way you thought you could. So obviously that's disappointing. But like I said, I think the leadership on this team, like you said, a lot of us have been in this position before, and we know what it takes to move forward. And I think that's our job, to lead these young guys and you know, to help them learn from it, but not to linger on it for too long, because we have more goals in front of us.
James, on a couple of those passes in the first quarter, it looked like you and Ronnie were really on a good rhythm there. You're able to get the ball out to him. You had a couple of nice catches. Are there any little positives like that you're able to take out of this, knowing that there was some good timing out there between you and the receivers?
Absolutely. Anytime those guys are making plays, I thought he had a good game. You know, I thought Derek Poudavon had a lot of good routes. I might not necessarily have gotten him the ball, but he had a pretty good game. And I think seeing those guys make plays is obviously, that's good to see. And I thought up front they had some good plays as well. So obviously there are bright spots in the entire thing, but looking at it as a whole, we have a lot to work on.